It's time for Rebel Sports on MyLocalRadio.com and 98.3 KADQ. Rebel Sports is brought to you by Rocky Mountain Power, Ready, Rich School District, Town of Randolph, Evanston Regional Hospital, Come On In, Westar Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, T7 Propane, Station on Main, Stacy's Repair, Ellingford Brothers, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, Bear Lake Realty, Independent Software Solutions, Jimmy John's, Dr. McKay Frankum, Crawford Trough, Woodruff Corner Store, Our Bakery, Mound Valley Cattle Company, and the town of Garden City.
I'd like to welcome all of our listeners out there. We are just getting ready to go underway with the final game for the Lady Rebels versus the Wind River Cougars. We are about 6 minutes away from tip-off. We'll have it right here for you online at mylocalradio.com and listening in at 98.3 KDQ FM. We'll start with our pregame show brought to you by the Ellingford Brothers. We'd like to thank them for their sponsorship. We've got interviews with Coach Lundgren and a Where Are They Now segment, so we'll get to those, and before we know it, we'll be ready for tip-off.
It is now time for our Where Are They Now segment, and I am very excited to be talking to my big bro, Colby Holmes, the Rich High alumni. Colb, thanks for taking the time. It's currently 7:21 where I'm at, 9:21 where you are, but I'm not going to spoil all the fun. I'm going to let you talk about where you're at. So, Colby, let our Rich County faithful listeners know where you're living nowadays and your family and your job, everything you've got going on.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you inviting me onto the show. The great thing about technology is I can live way out here, but still have an opportunity to follow my nephews and my niece and her dad coaching and listening to you broadcast. So it's been a cool experience over the football and basketball season to still feel like I'm involved, even though, we live quite a ways away. So I currently live in Moorhead, Kentucky. We've been here for the past 6 years. I work at the hospital doing foot and ankle surgery and the director of a wound care center here. So, being in Kentucky, we've become big UK fans. My son, that's all he's known. So it's been exciting to get the basketball team back playing really well with Coach Pope. It's been pretty cool to see how that's all progressed. So yeah, I've got my son Lincoln. He's 12. He's in 6th grade, and then I've got 2 little girls, Jane and Grace. And then I'm married to my wife Natalie. We've been married for 15 years, and life's good.
Well, and you touched on how you guys get to watch, on my local radio. I know that you guys are one of our most faithful listeners, so thank you for doing that. And I remember last year you and Lincoln surprised the family by coming to the state tournament. And when we were sitting there watching, Lincoln knew all the players' names on Rich High's team. He knew about Bridge Lundgren and Jaden Dash and everything because he never misses a game. So it's good that your kids can stay a little bit connected to Rich High School, even though they live a long ways away. Tell our listeners about what it's like living in Kentucky, where basketball is very much worshipped over anything else. I mean, there's obviously UK football's done well, but I'm sure nothing supersedes Kentucky basketball.
It's actually really cool. There's no professional sports teams in Kentucky. And so, UK is kind of it. Louisville also has a team, but if you don't live in Louisville, you're not a Louisville fan. Everybody else is UK, basically. And so it really is neat. Most of the patients who come into my office all wear UK gear. It's the topic of conversation. The last couple of years, when they were down a little bit, the mood was down. People are excited right now. When UK is playing well, other problems go away. So it's pretty neat. And living in Moorhead, there is a university here, Moorhead State, that Lincoln and I, we have season tickets. We go to all those games as well. Even as a small school, they made it to the dance last year. So yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting to be here. And, I love basketball and having my son being the same now and being the right age, we have a great time going to these games.
So Colby, what led you to go down to the path of being a foot surgeon and wound care and working in the hospital setting?
It's not something I ever thought I would do growing up. I served a mission in Cleveland, Ohio, and there's a school there for podiatry, and being around some of the people that were there that were in school first got me interested in it. And, after I'd gotten home and gone to school, I had considered physical therapy. I'd considered teaching and coaching, but the more I investigated, the more I looked into things, this is the path that seemed right for me, and it's been the best decision. And so I'm really happy with where I'm at.
So let's segue into your days at Rich High School. What were some of the high notes that you remember that when you think back, obviously most people don't live in their high school days, but there's always some good memories that you look back on and maybe tell your kids about. What are some of those times that you cherish that you had during your times at Rich?
It's always fun to think back and about those days. It's not something I talk about often, or it's been a while now, but I was fortunate enough to win a state championship in football. We played in the state title game in basketball, lost to Waterford, but we were able to have some success, and I had a great group of friends that we played together, and those are good memories. One funny thing, Lincoln Googled me one day to see if I actually played football, and he read we won a state title, and the only thing that he pulled from the whole thing was that I threw an interception in the state championship game. And so he oftentimes reminds me of that at the strangest times, and so I'm getting heckled for that out here.
He keeps you humble. Well, Colby, I always like to end our interviews by, when we're talking about the Rich High School days, is there a teacher that you'd like to give a shout out to that had a positive impact on your life during those 4 years?
It seems like it's been a long time, but somebody that did have a big impact on me was Ralph Johnson. He was there my freshman year, English teacher, and he had a big impact on me. And so that's who I would say.
Well, he is a legend for sure, even for people like me who didn't have the chance to be taught or coached by him. He's definitely brought up often. Well, Colby, thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to chat with me, and I know you'll hear this interview, as you guys, like we said, are faithful listeners, so tell the family hi, and we'll talk again soon for sure.
All right, thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Quality is the one thing that you can always count on when you do business with Ellingford Brothers in Evanston. Whether you're looking for strong, high-quality cement for construction, sand and gravel for road base, a cement trough or critter ladder for your livestock, or steel fabrication, including custom towing packages, bumpers, and other vehicle accessories, you always get high-quality products and friendly, knowledgeable service at Ellingford's. Stop in today, 199 County Road, Evanston.
Reach a dedicated hometown, regional, and worldwide audience. Dive into the action with My Local Rodeo. Our high school rodeo broadcasts are the heart of the community, drawing families and fans who love to support local businesses. From prime advertising spots to exclusive sponsorships, your businesses can shine in the spotlight. Don't miss out. Contact us today and saddle up for an unbeatable advertising opportunity. My Local Rodeo, where your business becomes part of the excitement.
Hazel Scott, freshman, guard.
My name is Cass Argyle. I'm a senior and I play shooting guard.
I'm Paige Smith. I'm a junior and I play guard.
Corey Stacy. I'm a freshman and I play shooting guard.
I'm Jalen Lutz. I'm a sophomore and I'm a shooting guard.
I'm Kira Jolly. I'm a senior and I'm a shooting guard.
I'm Molly Weston. I'm a sophomore and I'm a point guard.
I'm Ryan Smoot.
My apologies, we have to cut the team intro short, but we are underway here as the ball is tipped to Weston. She'll get it to the top of the key and pass it across to Smith, back to Weston, back to Smith. Smith finds Hatch on the baseline, who gets it up to Weston on the right wing, and that is just off the mark and rebounded by the Lady Cougars, who get it across. Cass Argyle playing good defense on the wing, but she does get her on that first shot attempt. That shot was attempted by Janae Spoonhunter, and Spoonhunter will go to the line shooting two. And let me reset our scoreboard. My apologies, I just realized that we still have the boys' score up there. So we will get that back to where it should be. So once again, we're just underway. Foul by Cass Argyle. Obviously her first. We were just a minute into this game as Spoonhunter's first shot is off the mark. Her second is up and a miss, as well as Hatch gets the rebound and gets it up to Weston, who quickly drives to the basket in transition, and that is blocked by number 23, Emma Miller, but Cass Argyle is able to steal it right back, tries to get it to Pugmire underneath, but that is no good. And Spoonhunter pulls up, pump fakes, gets it to her left, and a shot attempted I believe that was a pass to Spoonhunter underneath. They get it to her, but it is a miss and rebounded by Weston. Molly gets it across half court, passes it to Cass, who pump fakes and passes it back to Molly, who dribbles to the top of the key, passes to the left to Argyle, back to Weston on the right wing, back to Argyle, who gets a nice pump fake, gets her man up in the air, shoots and gets the jump shot. Great shot there by Cass, giving the Rebels the first points on the board, up 2-0 to Wind River. Wind River now trying to get something done on there, and number 13, Madison Arnich, dribbling there. They get it to Spoonhunter off the mark once again, off the back of the iron. They're going to call her for a foul on that rebound attempt on Smith as Paige was trying for that rebound. And for you listeners, I'm not sure why, but Bray is in a different number today. She's wearing number 4 rather than her usual number 22, so I'm not sure what the story is there. As Weston gets it in the corner, and then to Hatch underneath, who gets the bucket plus the foul, so she'll go to the line shooting 1 after the and 1. Good strong move and finish there for Brindley. So the Rebels up 4-0 pending this Hatch free throw, and it is up and off. But Bray with a great tip there to keep the play alive for the Rebels. Gets it to Smith. Smith, a great effort to keep it alive as well. She tips it out to Weston. Weston over to Argyle on the left wing. Argyle gets away from the defender and passes it to Paige to the right wing. She takes a dribble inside to find a wide open Brindley Hatch. Great pass there, but Hatch not able to finish. And now the Cougars are in transition. They get a layup attempt there by Natalie Walker, but it is missed and rebounded by Paige, who gets it up to Argyle. Back to Paige on top. Over to Weston in the corner. Molly gets it to Brindley. Brindley get back to Molly. Molly takes a dribble to her right as Coach Lundgren wants to reset things. Molly passes it to Paige, but that is tipped by Walker and out of bounds as Bray will go out of bounds to pass it in. And she passes it into Molly, who is at the top of the key. Weston passes it to Argyle. Argyle gets it to Pugmire inside, and she goes hard to the basket and is fouled on the shot attempt. So she will go to the line shooting 2. 4-0 for the Rebels, 5:19 to go here in the first quarter. So that was actually on the ground, so they're going to call that foul happen before the shot attempt. So the Rebels will just take it from out of bounds, with Weston being the inbounder under their own basket. Weston inbounds it to Argyle on the right wing. Argyle gets it back to Weston at the corner for the 3, and that bounces in. Got that BYU bounce. I coined it yesterday. BYU bounce into the basket, 7-0 for the Rebels. 5 minutes to go here. Wind River shot attempt by Arnich. That is off the mark, and Weston brings it up in transition to Argyle on the right wing. Back to Weston at the top. She's got an open 3 once again. It is up, and that is a miss, but a fight for the rebound happening with a bunch of Cougars plus Hatch. Hatch fought hard for the rebound there. It will be a jump ball, giving the possession back to Wind River. Wind River looking for their first points of the ball game as the Rebels get into their full court press. The pass is off the mark and goes out of bounds, so the Rebels will get possession back, going the other way. Pugmire inbounds it to Weston, who brings it across half court. She passes it to the right to Argyle. Argyle looks to her right, nothing back to her left to Weston. Then back to Argyle at the top. She then passes it to Pugmire, who pump fakes and drives to the baseline. Skip pass over to Paige Smith for the 3, and that is just a little bit too much there as Wind River is able to get that rebound and bring it up as Walker gets it across the timeline. Now they have it on top, looking to get things going here to find their first basket. Walker attempts the 3 from the right wing, and that is off the back iron. Weston with the rebound. She gets it across half court to Argyle, back to Weston up top. She pump fakes and drives, and she tries to lay it up there. That is off. Good, strong rebound again by Pugmire, and she is fouled getting that rebound. I believe that will be taken under the basket. Bray just does a great job rebounding for this team. Very strong rebounder, and I'm sure that's going to be a comment that I make all year long for her. Kira Jolly now checks in for Cass Argyle. She takes her place on that right wing spot. Weston inbounds it to Pugmire, has to take a step back and a try, and that is off the mark. Rebounded by Walker. She gets it up ahead to Armich, who drives into the hole, and they're going to call a blocking foul. So Arnich will go to the line shooting 2, trying to get the Cougars on the board with 3:35 here to go in the first quarter. And that is on Bray Pugmire, that foul, her first of the game. It's not her regular number. Arnich's first shot is up and good. So the Cougars are on the board, 7-1. Once again, with 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Arnich's second shot is up, and this one is good as well. 7-2. Now Wind River gets into a full court press. Weston trying to break it. She gets it ahead to Pugmire, who gets it to Hatch on the run, just through her hands. Good pass there by Pugmire, but the Cougars will get it back, going the other way. So the Rebels stay in their full court press as well. Wind River does break it. Arnich driving to the hole, and it is off as well. Hatch with the rebound gets it to Weston. Up ahead to Jolly, who finds Pugmire. Wow, potentially a great block there, but it sounds like she did get her with the body. That was number 23, Emma Miller, who was trailing Pugmire on that play, but they're going to say she got her with the body. Good transition play there from Weston to Jolly to Pugmire as Pugmire goes shoot for 2. First one is up and off the back of the rim. Coach Lungen's going to sub in both Argyle and McKinnon in for Smith and Hatch. So it's going to be Weston, Argyle, Pugmire, Jolly, and McKinnon, as the second is off as well. Rebound made by Walker. She gets it across the timeline, guarded heavily by Weston. They get it to the inside. That's going to be an and one. Number 23, Emma Miller, a good seal on her man, and she gets it and gets the and one. Cutting the score 7-4, looking to make it a 2-point deficit here with a foul shot after the and one. Her foul shot is up, and that is a miss and rebounded by Pugmire. Wind River stays in their full court press. Weston picks it up, gets it to Pugmire, but that's going to be tipped away. Pugmire gets it back. We're going to have a jump ball potentially here. Jump ball, so that will remain in the Rebels' possession. Wind River definitely a scrappy team, especially on this full court press so far. But they're going to drop back to just a regular half-court press, it looks like. Weston gets it across to Argyle on the right wing. Argyle back to Weston. Weston who gets it in to Pugmire, and that is tipped away again. Argyle able to steal the potential fast break, and a great pass to Weston, who finishes at the rim. 9-4, great steal and pass there by Argyle, and a finish by Weston. Walker gets it across to Arnich. She passes it ahead to Spoon Hunter, who then drives to the hole for the bucket. 9-6 with 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Pugmire gets it across the timeline to Jolly, who gets it back to Pugmire. Pugmire tries to drive in, but that was dribbled off of her foot, and Walker will take possession and try to make something happen here with just 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Wind River given a little bit more resistance than I think the Rebels had planned on. As I say, this is a very scrappy bunch so far today. So Spoon Hunter has it at the top. She's going to attempt a three. That is up and good. Tied ball game, and Coach Lundgren's going to take a timeout as the Cougars fight back to tie this one up at 9. A minute 44 left to go here in the first quarter. We'll be back after this.
Reach a dedicated hometown, regional, and worldwide audience. Dive into the action with My Local Rodeo. Our high school rodeo broadcasts are the heart of the community, drawing families and fans who love to support local businesses. From prime advertising spots to exclusive sponsorships, your businesses can shine in the spotlight. Don't miss out. Contact us today and saddle up for an unbeatable advertising opportunity. My Local Rodeo, where your business becomes part of the excitement.
We are back here after the break as the Rebels find themselves tied nearing the end of the first quarter. The Rebels got to get it across in 10 seconds, and Coach Lundgren having to burn another timeout as we are not able to break that press. So another timeout burned by Coach Lundgren early on in the first quarter, in the first half. Minute and a half to go here in the first quarter. We will stay here as we just had a break. As I say, I think and obviously the Rebels gave all they had last night in that Mountain View game, but this Wind River team, very scrappy bunch. I think their niche right now is that full court press, as the Rebels have struggled with it to get it down there. I think if they're able to get it across, we're confident in our offense. But so far, very scrappy team, making things difficult so far today. And again, once again, we want to thank our sponsors, the Station on Main scoreboard, which shows a tied ball game so far here in the first quarter, and T7 Propane for their sponsorship of Rich Rebel basketball, making this all possible, along with all of our other sponsors, which you'll see throughout the game at our commercial breaks. So the Rebels will come out of that timeout, hopefully with some adjustments made. Hatch, Weston, Jolly, Argyle, and Smith into the game for the Rebels. As Jolly looks to inbound, she will inbound it to Weston. Weston does cross over and gets across the timeline just fine. Passes it to Hatch in the corner. Back to Weston in the left wing. Weston dribbles to her right, gets it to Argyle on the right corner. Argyle skip passes it to Jolly, who finds Hatch at the block, gets it to Argyle on the wing, and that will be no good as Walker gets it to Spoonhunter. Spoonhunter back to Walker, who gets it across. She tries to get it over to number 15, Spoonhunter, and that is just out of reach, and she is down. Excuse me, I believe that's number 13, Armeach. We're going to go to break here as there is an injury timeout. We'll be back after this.
If you've never heard a mechanic say they truly care, then you've been at the wrong place. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff is a family-owned and operated business open since 1992. Offering all types of maintenance and repair services, you can be sure your vehicle is operating at its best. Whether your vehicle is older or the newest model, gas or diesel, we fix and maintain them all. Also offering chip repair, windshield replacement, and tires. When your vehicle needs a mechanic, bring it to the ones who truly care. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff.
Okay, we are back after that injury timeout. Hopefully the girl from Wind River will be able to come back after that injury. Weston gets it up the floor, not quite across. She gets it to Jolly, to Hatch rather, to get it across the timeline. Smith skips it over to Argyle on the right wing. Argyle dribbles to her left, up top to Smith, over to Weston, the left wing, who's going to try for a three, and that is off the mark and rebounded by Miller, and she's going to be fouled by Smith on that rebound. 42 seconds to go here in the first quarter. We are tied at 9. Wind River inbounds. That's going to be to Walker, over to Shoyo, back to Walker again, who gets it across. Over to Spoonhunter on the left wing, back to Walker in the left corner. She drives the baseline. She's stopped by Smith, who steals it and is dribbling down, trying to go to the rim, and she does, and that is good. Good drive coast to coast there by Paige Smith, bringing the score 11-9 for the Rebels. Rebels turning up their full court press now as Spoonhunter loses the ball, and Pugmire there to lock things up. Possession will remain with Wind River after that jump ball. 14 seconds to go here in the first quarter, so now Rebels will get the ball to start the first quarter, most likely, after that jump ball. Ball is entered to Walker. Weston hustling for defense. She's able to keep a hold of it, puts up a three. That is missed. 8 seconds to go here. Smith gets the rebound, gets it to Pugmire. Back to Weston on the wing. Weston puts the ball up again, and this time it bounces around the rim and off. So the score will end 11-9. Definitely a lot of resistance against the Rebels towards the second half of the first quarter. We'll go to break. When we come back, start of the second quarter. You're watching online at mylocalradio.com and listening in at 98.3 KDQ FM.
We know from experience that in rural America, people really care about 3 things: their faith, their money, and their high school sports, and not necessarily in that order.
It's a race. Mendez in some space down the left wing. Steps into a shot. Mendez scores! Red Devils on top, 2-0 on the Heritage Auto of Evanston scoreboard.
The 0-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Hello, North Carolina. Cheyenne's coming to visit.
The My Local Radio Sports Network covers high school sports in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming, American Legion Baseball and high school rodeo in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming. Advertising in the My Local Radio Sports Network is unique for 2 reasons. 1, it's the best way to reach your local audience, and 2, it's the most economical way to reach your regional and national audience. Join us today on the My Local Radio Sports Network.
We're back now for the start of the second quarter. Score, the Rich High Rebels 11, Wind River Cougars 9. Good competitive first quarter as the Rebels trying to get a bigger lead here in the second quarter, as Pugmire is going to inbound it up to Weston, who gets it across the timeline. Weston kicks it over to Smith on the left wing. Smith looking in to Hatch, but passes it back to Weston. Over to Argyle, who gets Smith at the middle of the key, and that's going to be tipped out of bounds, so Rebels will keep possession. Weston will be the inbounder here. She fakes out and gets it to Pugmire, but that's just off the mark, off her knee. That'll go out of bounds, so Wind River will get the ball back here. Wind River looking to break the Rebels press, which they do, as Spoonhunter drives into the key with a left hook, and that will be off the mark as Hatch rebounds, gets it out to Smith, who gets it to Weston. Weston passes up to Argyle, who gets it to an open Hatch posting underneath, and that is missed and rebounded by Walker, who passes it up to Spoonhunter. Spoonhunter gets it across the timeline over to Walker on the right wing. Walker to Spoonhunter on the left wing. Spoonhunter tries to get it on the inside, but that is broken up by a host of Rebels. Argyle comes up with it and passes it to Weston, who passes it up to Paige Smith. Smith trying to get a jump shot there, and that is tipped by Wind River, and then will go out of bounds as they try to get it off a Rebel foot, but no avail. So the Rebels will keep possession at the corner under their own basket. Weston gets an inbound to Paige Smith on the right corner for the three, and that is good. A much-needed three there. Great shot by Paige. Put the Rebels up 14-9 with 6:46 to go in the first half. Wind River does throw the ball away there, trying to break the press, so the Rebels will get the ball back. Trying to go on a bit of a run here after that Paige Smith three-pointer on the last possession. Weston kicks it to McKinnon on the left wing. McKinnon dribbles to her right, passes it to Paige, back to McKinnon, who feeds it to Hatch, then to a streaking Pugmire. Great ball movement there. That was textbook. That Hatch to Pugmire connection was pretty on that one. Rebels continue to be aggressive on defense. Wind River able to get it across the timeline, trying to feed it inside to Miller, but that is knocked away into the hands of Paige Smith. Paige gets it ahead to Molly. Molly skip passes it over to McKinnon. McKinnon with the three, and that is just off the front of the rim. Good rebound by Hatch up to Weston. She passes it over to McKinnon. Back to Weston, and it looks like they are going to call 23 Miller with a push underneath. So that will give the Rebels the ball on the sideline, as that is 3 fouls for Miller. So that's a tough foul for Wind River. She's a big presence underneath for him. Pugmire inbounds it to Weston. She passes it to the wing to McKinnon. Back to Weston on the corner, who then gets it to Hatch, and she is fouled underneath. Good look there by Weston. Instead of taking the three, she gets the entry pass into the block to Hatch as she released her guy, and she was then fouled underneath. That foul was on number 15, Spoon Hunter. 3 for her as well, so that is a big foul on her, as she is a contributor for that Wind River side. First foul shot is up and good for Hatch. 17-9 for the Rebels. 5:52 to go in the first half. So Wind River, so 23 Miller back in the game. So Wind River, both of their posts have 3 fouls right now, but will stay in the ball game. That shot is off, and Hatch able to get her own rebound, but there is a jump giving the ball back to Wind River. So Smith will take it out of bounds and pass it into Walker, who gets it ahead to Murray. Murray to Spoon Hunter. Spoon Hunter takes a shot using the backboard. That is off the mark, as Smith able to get a rebound, caught up by Wind River. She gets ahead to Molly, who was going for the Euro step and then tried to pass it on the last step, and that is taken away by Wind River. Spoon Hunter driving to the hole once again. Weston tips it away, but into the hands of Smith. They get it to Walker to the corner. She nearly steps out of bounds there. They get it to the top to Spoon Hunter once again. A screen is set, so a skip pass over to Walker, and that is a nice three-point shot made by Walker. 17-12 currently. Rebels in the lead, 5:11 to go here in the second quarter. We'll go to break. Thank you for listening in on this T7 production of Lady Rebel basketball, online at mylocalradio.com and listening in at 98.3 KDQ FM.
Listening to the music that you love brings you joy. MyLocalRadio.com brings you that music. Whether you like listening to country's biggest stars, classic pop hits, classic rock, and rock hits, or country's young guns and legendary southern rock, MyLocalRadio.com puts your favorite music at your fingertips. Download the app to your mobile device or log onto the website to bring more joy into your life with your favorite music. MyLocalRadio.com.
We are back here as Weston gets it across the timeline to Jolly in the corner. Jolly able to handle that. She looks to pass to Pugmire, but that's tipped right into the hands of McKinnon, who was able to finish at the basket. 19-12 for the Rebels. Another steal for Pugmire. She gets it to Weston at the top of the key. She kicks it over to Jolly, back to Weston, to McKinnon, to Smith on the right wing. Back to McKinnon, over to Weston at the top. She fires, and that is a bank shot. That is made. Molly not happy with that, but that's 3 points that the Rebels will take at this point in the game. 22-12. Molly gets it again. She passes it off to Pugmire on the fast break. And Rebels now up 12, 24-12. 4:21 left in the first half. Wind River gets it across to Walker, but there's a bit of panic as she tries to get it over to Miller, and that is knocked away by McKinnon. Over to Weston. Weston throws it ahead to Smith, then to Pugmire. Pugmire not able to finish as Miller does get that rebound, and out to Walker and ahead to Spoon Hunters. They're trying to get it across the timeline. They do, but that is tipped away by Weston. Weston goes to the basket. Left-handed layup is good. 26-12 now for the Rebels. 3:49 to go in the first half. Walker gets it ahead to Spoon Hunter. Spoon Hunter drives all the way to the hole. Defended by Jolly, but they're going to say she was moving her feet on that layup attempt. So they're going to give her a blocking foul, and Spoon Hunter will go to the line shooting 2. Again, 3:41 to go in the first half. Rebels up 26-12. Spoon Hunter shooting 2, her first off the front of the rim. Winder will change out 2 of their players as the second foul shot coming up here for Spoon Hunter. Spoon Hunter puts that shot up, and it is off the mark as well. Pugmire able to be there for the rebound. She is going to pass it up to McKinnon. McKinnon drives to the hole, but that is tipped from behind. Jolly tries to get there, but it does go out of bounds as Argyle comes in for McKinnon. Walker passes it in, up ahead to Nelson. Nelson gets it to Spoon Hunter. Spoon Hunter trying to drive, gets it out to Walker on the perimeter. Walker shoots it from the baseline. That is off the mark, and Pugmire able to rebound that. Gets it to Weston. Weston passes it ahead to Smith. Smith back to Weston on the perimeter. Weston passes it to Argyle on the right wing. Argyle passes it to Molly in the corner. She shoots that up, and that is missed off the front of the rim. Spoon Hunter with the rebound. Paige Smith there trying to get the steal, but too much contact for the ref's liking, so that will be a foul on Paige. Second team foul of the quarter for the Rebels. 2:58 to go in the first half. Spoon Hunter does get it in, but between the legs of her player and Jolly able to steal it away, and they're going to call number 5, Natalia Shoyo, with the foul on Jolly as Jolly stole that inbound pass there. .256 to go in the first half as Jolly will inbound to Weston. Weston across the timeline. She passes to her left to Smith. Smith gets it to the left corner to Argyle. Argyle feeds it inside to Pugmire, and that is an and one. Good finish there by Pugmire. Good entry pass there as well by Argyle as the Rebels now up 28-12. And that's the 4th foul on Spoon Hunter. And you definitely don't want her to foul out. She's one of the big playmakers. And no substitution is going to the table quite yet, as Pugmire does get that free throw in. 29-12 in favor of the Rebels with 2:42 to go here. Wind River gets it across. Toyo gets it ahead. They get it down underneath to Spoon Hunter, and she's able to finish at the basket. 29-14, 2:30 left here. Jolly gets to the basket, not quite able to finish. There is a fight for the ball. Argyle does come up with it. She tries to finish, and they are going to say it is out of bounds on Wind River. And that's actually a benefit to Wind River. There was a lot going on there, and Spoon Hunter has 4 fouls, and she was right in the mix. They're going to sub her out now. Miller goes in Spoon Hunter, I assume, will take a seat for the remainder of the half, as she only has one more foul to give. Weston to inbound. She gets it inside to Brinley Hatch. And they're going to say she was fouled, I believe, by Miller. That'll give her her fourth foul. So Hatch will go to the line shooting 2. 2:16 to go in the first half. And yes, that is Miller's fourth foul. Hatch's foul shot is up and off the front of the rim. Number 21, Aliana Murray, is in the game now for Wind River. Hatch's second foul shot is up and good, giving the Rebels a 30-14 lead. Murray passes it ahead, but that is tipped by Weston. She looks to pass ahead to Pugmire, but holds up and passes to Smith. Smith skip passes to Argyle. Argyle, great entry pass to Pugmire. That is blocked. Put up again by Hatch and missed, and Pugmire gets the rebound there as well. Weston keeping it alive on the left wing. She dribbles over. She gets it to Hatch on the left wing. Back to Weston on the top. She passes to Argyle on the right wing. Argyle trying to get into Pugmire. Smith as well. Argyle takes a pump, shoots, and that is off the mark. And they're going to get a foul on Pugmire on the rebound there, as number 13, Arneach, goes for that rebound as well. So that'll be Bray's second foul of the game. Minute 40 to go here. Rebels up 30-14. Ball is inbounded to Walker. She's going to dribble to her left. She gets it. She gets ahead to Shoyo. Shoyo over to Arneach. Arneach back to Shoyo. Walker now has it at the top of the key, near the half court line. She passes it over to Miller. Miller passes it to Shoyo, to Walker in the corner, the right corner. Now they're going to call number 5, Natalia Shoyo, with the travel there at the top of the key. She took one too many steps. Rebels will get the ball back, a minute 9 to go in the second quarter. Weston dribbles past the defender, gets down to the foul line, passes it to her right to Hatch, back to Weston. Over to Smith, over to Argyle, who's going to take a jump shot that is just off the front of the rim. Smith, a good rebound to Weston at the top, who then attempts a three. That is off the back iron, and they are going to say that was off of Wind River, giving the Rebels possession under their own basket with 41 seconds to go in the first half. Weston, the inbounder. She gets it to Argyle in the corner. Back to Weston in the corner. She pump fakes and dribbles. She has a jump shot. That is off. And this time rebounded by Shoyo. She gets it out to Walker, who gets it across half court. She dribbles to her left, crosses over, goes right into the key. She is stopped by a group of Rebels. They get it to the outside to Arneach. Arneach drives, and she puts it up, and that is good. Arneach with the hook shot in the key, as Smith dribbles it down to her own key, where she kicks it out to Argyle, to a wide open Hatch underneath. Good vision there by Cass Argyle to find Hatch, who had been left alone on the block. 5 seconds to go here. Winder gets it across to Miller. Miller back to Walker, and that three-point attempt will be just short. That will finish things off here in the first half, as the Lady Rebels lead the Wind River Cougars 32-16. We'll go to break. After this, we'll have our Standout Student segment. And thanks for listening in on 98.3 KDQ FM and online at mylocalradio.com.
Randolph Medical Clinic is known for comfortably treating acute and chronic conditions as well as mental health. Nurse practitioner Nancy Weston is known for providing compassionate care. Appointments can be made by texting 435-200-5416. Randolph Medical Clinic.
I am here with Hillary Rex and am excited to talk to her as our standout student this week. Hillary, how are things going for you in your senior year?
It's going good, just a lot of stress with all that's going on, getting associates and CNA and EMT and sports on top of that.
That is a lot you have going on. Are you wanting to work as a CNA after high school, or is it just part of your curriculum of things you got going on?
Not really. I'm just getting it so that I can go into nursing school.
Awesome. And Hillary, well, we'll talk about your after high school plans in a minute. Let's talk about what you have going on right now. I know that you're a good wrestler and that has just kicked off. How have things gone so far?
Good. I wrestled for the first time this year because I just got cleared to wrestle because of my injury.
Right. From during the football game, right? Talk to us a little bit about that injury because we talked about that on the air as it was happening. So what injuries did you get from that?
So I had to get 7 stitches from where her teeth hit above my eyebrow. And then that healed nicely. And then I went and got x-rays a couple weeks after. And I broke the orbital floor bone that supports my eyes. So they went and stuck a plate in there.
So for our listeners, that happened during a football game, during one of the stunts, right, that you guys were doing on the sideline?
Yeah, we put her up in a basket toss.
Well, I'm glad you are back on the mat and ready to go. So let's talk about wrestling. What grade were you in when they started offering girls wrestling?
I was in 8th grade. So
you were in 8th grade. So when they offered that, because that was a big deal, did you know immediately that you were going to do that, or was it something that you contemplated for a year before doing it?
Well, in middle school, I don't know, everyone was doing basketball, and so I tried summer basketball for high school, and then I was like, no, and so I just decided to wrestle because I knew I'd be able to because it's like a family thing. I don't know.
It absolutely is. And just so our listeners know, Hillary's older brother, Hayden, was a great wrestler. He was my age and state champion. So it is in your family and in your genetics. So I'm glad that you're doing that. How did last year go for you in wrestling?
Last year, I took second. I had a pretty good season.
And so, Hillary, obviously you guys, with Naya graduating, she was a great one and a captain of the team. So how has it been filling that role as a captain on the team this year?
It's not too bad. I would say it's stressful, but it's really not. Our team's really easy to work with. The girls and the boys, we both get along with each other. And I think Nina's the captain with me, but it's been good so far. It's definitely been harder because we have a bunch of freshmen coming in and we had 5 seniors graduate. But besides that, it's been fine.
And so, Hillary, what's it been like for the high school, do you think? Because in my opinion, it was just a huge deal when they started offering girls wrestling, because before then, you either played basketball or you're a cheerleader or there was nothing to do. So has it been a big deal to be able to have this as an option for girls that really didn't want to play basketball, didn't want to cheerlead, but are able to excel at this?
I think so, because wrestling is a really hard sport and it's really physically demanding, but it's more mentally demanding. And so I feel like it was a good way to offer for those that needed something extra or something more.
And I completely agree with you. I didn't wrestle in high school, but I did in junior high, and by far the hardest sport I ever did, for sure. So I agree with you on that one. Hillary, how are things going with school? You touched on how busy you are with it. How are you enjoying your senior year, though?
I haven't really enjoyed a lot yet, just because I'm constantly working on homework. But Christmas break is coming up, which is almost a month break, so it should be fine for a little bit, and then it kicks back up. But it'll all be done with in May, so.
Exactly. Well, and after you graduate, what are your plans?
It depends on what I decide to do, where I decide to go to college, because I could be offered a scholarship to go wrestle in Iowa if I decide to wrestle, which is depending on this year's season. But if I don't decide to do that, then probably Weber State for nursing program.
Well, that's awesome. Those are some really good plans and options that you have, and something I like to ask everyone at the end of these interviews. Hillary, is there a teacher that you'd like to give a shout out to that's had an impact on you these last 4 years at Rich?
Yes, Cooper Cornea. We definitely have our fights, but he's never gave up on me, even after how many times I've let him down or been disrespectful, and he just constantly comes back and tries to help me, and not only just me, but everyone else. He's always serving others and doing good. So
he is a good one. He's a very good guy. So, well, Hillary, thanks for taking a second out of your busy day to chat about what's going on over at Rich High School, and best of luck to you with your opening, meet this weekend at Marsh Valley. We're excited to hear how you do.
Yep. Thank you.
Supporting local schools, Eddie and Todd Jensen, owners of Mound Valley Cattle Company, know when it comes to buying and selling cattle, you count on the best. Mound Valley Cattle Company, serving Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming. 208-339-0614. That's 208-339-0614.
Welcome to the town of Randolph, located in northern Utah. The first group of settlers came from St. Charles, Idaho in March of 1870. We are a town of great extremes, from 90 degrees in the summer to minus 40 degrees in the winter, and we hold the record for the coldest temperature ever recorded in Utah at minus 50 degrees. Randolph is a small, friendly community that strives to preserve our rural heritage and small town feel. Enjoy the feeling each time you visit Randolph. Go Rebels!
I'm here with Coach Cody Lundgren for our second week of the season. And Coach, you now have 2 games under your belt. You took care of business against Bull St. Joe's and Wendover. What are your thoughts after being able to actually play some games and going into a very competitive weekend at the Bridger Valley tournament, Coach?
It was great to go out and, have the girls play somebody that wasn't their teammates. And it was good to see how they would respond to some pressure and respond to some adversity at times. And I thought they handled things for the most part pretty well. So I'm excited to go to this tournament at Bridger Valley.
Coach, seems like it didn't take very long at all to have your girls have a bunch of chemistry out on the floor. And I've heard from a few different people in the community how impressed they were with your fast break and with your full court press that you had. What do you attribute to the quick chemistry that they already have going on just 2 games in?
I think a lot of it comes to their basketball IQ. I really do. Like, these girls have been playing basketball a long time, and they understand the game and how it's supposed to flow. They really bought into what we're trying to do as a team, and, they look for each other. They get excited just as much off an assist as they do a bucket, and it's fun to see the ball move around the floor like it does, especially with the trap. Like, if you don't move together as one, the trap's usually not very successful, so they're moving in that trap very well.
Coach, tell us about this weekend, who's on the schedule, and if you know much about the teams that you'll be playing.
First game that we play is Little Snake, very athletic team. For example, they just took state in Wyoming volleyball, and we played them this summer, and it was some pretty competitive games with them this summer, so I'm expecting a very good game there with them. They're usually a very fast-paced team. They like to trap you. They like to throw the ball down the court in transitions. They had some really good guards when we played them this summer and some good post players, so it should be a very good game. Wind River, I'm not as familiar with them, just from talking to people. They like to pressure you up in man. They've got some fast, athletic, skilled guards, and I heard they have a good post player, so that should be a good game. In our third game that we play, it's actually our middle game, but it's against Mountain View, and they've got some, very good athletes. Post players, guards alike. They love to play pressure. They do have a 3/4 court trap that's very good, and they love to attack the basket and get after you.
Coach, what has it done for your team each year to, we don't go to the preview every year, but we do tend to do these Wyoming tournaments. What do these Wyoming teams do for us in the long run each year in the season?
It's awesome just to see a different style of basketball. And, Wyoming's usually very physical. A lot of times they'll man you up pretty hard. They're very disciplined. Usually very, very good with their feet. Just fundamentally, they're very sound. So I love going and playing Wyoming teams, especially at these tournaments. You see a lot of really good basketball. And I think whatever.
We are back here in the second half of action for the Lady Rebels, who are up 32-16. Just starting the second half here. I'll adjust my quarter there. So quarter number 3 just starting here for the Rebels. Once again up 32-16. So Pugmire will inbound it to Weston as Weston gets it across half court. Rebels really want to come out with a strong run here and hopefully prevent any runs from Wind River, as they have had those at times here in this matchup. As my cameraman Brandon Holmes told me, I just broadcaster jinxed us as we have a turnover to start things off. Wind River gets it across the timeline as they have a 3 attempted, and that is no good. Off hard though, as Pugmire not able to hold on to that. as that is rebounded and put back up, but Weston now able to get it across half court up to Argyle on the right wing. She skip passes it to Pugmire, then to Smith for the three, and that is off the mark and rebounded by Miller. So Spoonhunter drives it in. She kicks it back out to Walker. Walker back, has it again up at the top of the key. Over to Spoonhunter, who dribbles again. She's going to attempt a three, and that is just missed. And I apologize, that was Arnich. Arnich who missed that three. Weston passes it to Hatch. Hatch takes a dribble, skips it over to Argyle, then to Weston at the top of the key. Weston with the screen of Pugmire drives into the hole and just off the mark there. Walker with the rebound, and Weston there. Walker tries to hit it off the leg of Weston and hits it off of her own leg, so that is going to be Rebel basketball under their own basket with Weston being the inbounder. It looked like Pugmire may have had a nosebleed as she came off quickly, and Jolly is now into the ball game. Weston gets it into Argyle, back to Weston. Weston with the entry pass to Hatch. Hatch kicks it up to Argyle, over to Weston for the three. It is up and off the back iron. Hatch gets the long rebound over to Weston. Weston skips it over to Jolly. Jolly gets it up, and that is just to the right. Smith with a good effort to try to save that, but out of bounds it goes, and Wind River will take over. Rebels get into their full court press as Spoonhunter gets it over to Walker. Up to Arnich. Arnich on the right wing. She drives to the hoop, gets to the baseline, then over to Miller. Very nice play there. She has the wraparound pass to the awaiting Miller after she drove to the baseline. Weston gets it up to Jolly, back to Weston. Weston looking to Coach Lundgren for the next set. She passes it to Smith on the wing. Smith takes a couple of dribbles in, shoots it, and that is off the backboard. Arnich with the rebound. She gets it across the timeline. Tries to get the layup. She's forced out by Argyle, and that's going to go out of bounds off the hand of a Rebel on the attempted rebound. So Wind River will keep possession here. 32-18 with 5:48 to go in the third quarter. Ball is passed to Arnich. Arnich gets an open look, but that is off the back iron. Weston rebounds it. She passes it across half court to Smith. Smith dribbles in, gets a nice entry pass to Hatch at the block, but that is missed as well. Arnich with the rebound, who gets it up quickly to Walker. Walker tries to get it across to a man. Arnich has the open look, and that is off the mark. Open three attempted, but she misses that, and Argyle gets the rebound, gets it across half court. She tries to get an open Hatch right under the basket, but just a little too much mustard on that one. Hatch not able to handle that. McKinnon will sub in for Argyle as the Rebels remain in that full court press. 5:11 to go here, 32-18 in favor of the Rebels. Wind River does break the press as Walker goes to the three, thinks about it, passes it off to Arnich, who attempts the three, and that is good. So here's a little bit of a run here once again by the Cougars. Rebels up 11 as Weston goes across the timeline. She has a screen set by Jolly, and she's going to take a jumper from the top of the key, and that is good. Good screen, good shot there by the Rebels as Arnich has it on the other end. She drives to the hoop. Jolly tries to defend, but they're going to say she was moving on that one, so Arnich will go to the line shooting two. 4:44 to go here in the third quarter. Arnich's first shot is up and just off the mark. Arnich, just a sophomore. She's been a big contributor so far here today. So Arnich will try for a second shot here. It is up and off the mark as well, but that is rebounded by Spoonhunter, who puts it right back up, and that is good. Good rebound there by Spoonhunter. Long rebound and put back. Weston drives to the top of the key and passes it off to Smith to her left. Gets it back to Weston at the top of the key. Weston dribbles to her right. Passes it off to Pugmire at the perimeter. Jolly cuts. Then Pugmire passes it to Weston in the corner. Weston almost gets it stolen from her. The ball goes out of bounds. Good play there by Walker to tip it away from Weston. Rebels will keep possession on the sideline. Pugmire passes it into Weston. Weston takes a dribble to her right, passes it to Pugmire at the top of the key. Weston open on the right wing. She goes for the three, and that is just over the mark and out of bounds on Wind River as they tried for the rebound. So Weston will be the inbounder. She gets it into Jolly at the corner, pump fakes. She pump faked and then passed it to Hatch, but they're going to call her for the travel in the corner there. So Wind River will take over. Spoonhunter passes it into Walker. Walker back to Spoonhunter. Spoonhunter passes it ahead to Murray, who gets it to Miller, but Jolly, good defense there. She rips it away from Miller underneath and then gets it to Weston. Weston passes it over to Smith at the 3 line. Smith takes a dribble and drives in, then off to Pugmire. Pugmire gets underneath. Good move there by Bray. A pump fake and then an up and under with her left hand, giving the Rebels the lead 36-23 with 3:30 to go in the third quarter. Weston goes up for the layup and is hammered right in the face by Walker. So Molly will take 2 shots here. 2 foul shots coming up for Weston. And that is Walker's first foul here in the ball game. Weston's first shot is up and good. 37-23 for the Rebels. 3:26 to go in the third quarter. Weston's second foul shot is up and rattles in. Rebels now up 38-23 as McKinnon will sub in for Weston here. And the Rebels stay in a full court press. Walker gets it over to Spoonhunter. Spoonhunter to Murray. Back to Spoonhunter. She gets it to Arneach. Arneach puts up a jump shot. That is a miss and rebound for Hatch. Hatch to Smith. Up to McKinnon on the right wing. McKinnon looking to feed into Pugmire, but that is stolen by Spoonhunter. Spoonhunter gets it across the timeline. She passes it to Walker in the corner. I believe that was tipped by Hatch, but rebounded by, that was by 21 Murray. Jolly gets it, passes it up to McKinnon. McKinnon tries to get it to Pugmire, but it's too much, but luckily Smith there to handle it. Pugmire gets it right at the foul line and shoots and makes it. Good jumper by Bray. 40-23 with 2:36 to go in the third quarter. Bray nearly intercepts that pass. Hatch nearly intercepts the second pass, and Page tips it, and great effort there by Kira to jump on the floor to get the ball and pass it up to Page, who now is dribbling down the floor. Things are getting a little ugly here. Turnovers back and forth as Arneach goes down, misses the foul shot. McKinnon able to get the rebound, and Coach Lundgren wisely telling everyone to settle down and slow things up a bit as McKinnon passes it to Jolly on the right wing, who gets it inside to Pugmire. She is being forced from behind, and I believe that's Miller's 5th foul. She's going to foul out here with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. So that's a big loss for Wind River, as Miller has been a big presence underneath, but she will be done for the day, as I say, with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Jolly looks to inbound. She gets it up top to Smith on the right wing. Smith then back to Jolly. She had her for a minute, but then Arneach was in the passing lane. Walker ends up with it as she crosses the timeline, and she's just going to take a jumper there, and that is good. Good 20-foot jumper there by Walker, and Wind River's going to want to take a timeout here. 40-25 in favor of the Rebels. Minute 44 to go here in the third quarter. We'll be back after this.
And now a message from the experts at Bear Lake Realty.
Welcome to Water's Edge, right downtown Garden City. Beachfront condos, close to the beach, close to downtown for your renters and the owners.
We want to thank Gary McKee and Bear Lake Realty for the Bear Lake Realty fan cam here in the third quarter. If you are looking for a place in Bear Lake, Gary McKee is a great contact to find the right place for you. So this is minute 43 to go here in the third quarter. Rebels up 15 as Weston takes it across the timeline. They're going to call the Rebels with a off-the-ball foul. That's going to be on Kira Jolly with the push. That will be Kira's fourth foul in the game. So Wind River will take over. Walker passes it ahead to Toyo, who gets it to Arnich. Arnich over to Spoon Hunter. Spoon Hunter tries to drive, and that is blocked by Hatch. She hands it off to Arnich. Great steal there by Kira Jolly, and she is taking it across half court. She gets it over to Weston. Good defense there by Jolly to get the Rebels the ball back. Molly rips it away and tries to drive. She goes to her left and will go all the way, and they're going to call a foul on Toyo on the drive, so Weston will go to the line shooting two. And that's going to be Shoyo's first foul of the game. Minute 10 to go in the third quarter. Rebels up 40-25. Weston's first foul shot is up and good. 41-25 for the Rebels. Molly's second shot is in as well. Walker looking to break the Rebels' press. She gets it back. She tries to throw it overhead, but Pugmire is there. She gets it to McKinnon, who tries for the three. Great effort there for Pugmire, but they're going to call a foul on her on the attempted offensive rebound. So that will be Bray's third foul with 55 seconds to go in the third quarter. Rebels stay in the full court press as Walker throws it full length to Spoon Hunter, and Spoon Hunter goes for the layup, missed layup, but it is fouled by Hatch, and so she will go to the line shooting two. So 49 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Spoon Hunter going for her first of two foul shots. The first is up and off the back of the iron. Paige Smith does sub in for Bray Pugmire. Spoon Hunter's second shot is up off the back of the iron once again, but rebounded by Toyo. She puts it back up. Good putback by Toyo. Weston brings it up the court. She had an open man, but it is stolen by Walker. She gets to the rim and is too much. Off the foot of a Rebel. Weston back and gains it again. She gets it across the timeline. 26 seconds to go in the third quarter. Good entry pass there from Smith to McKinnon. McKinnon is fouled on the two-point attempt. She'll go to the line shooting two with 22 seconds to go. Rebels up 42-27 in the third quarter. McKinnon's first shot is up and good. Rebels doing well from the line today, as McKinnon looking to go 2 for 2 in this set of foul shots. McKinnon's shot is up and good for the second shot. 44-27 with 21 seconds to go here. Walker gets it to Arnich. Arnich then passes it to Weston. Weston drives to the hoop, lays it up, and that is good. 12 seconds to go as Walker gets it to Arnich, to Spoon Hunter, across the line. Spoon Hunter with a long two, and that is off the front of the rim with 0.8 seconds to go. That is off the foot of Argyle, so Wind River will get a shot. They're going to have to get it up very quickly as soon as that ball is inbounded. 0.8 seconds to go here. Rebels up 46-27. Spoon Hunter gets it up to Walker. She does get it off, but does not have enough there. And that'll end our third quarter with the Rebels up 46-27 on the Wind River Cougars. We'll be back after this.
When was the last time you got to stay at a hotel that had an indoor waterfall and a fish pond? Or a hotel with a swimming pool, a baby pool, and 5 hot tubs? At the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper, Wyoming, you'll get all of this, plus an amazing complimentary breakfast. You can even reserve a suite with a private jacuzzi for 2. The rates are so affordable that every time you're in Casper, you and the whole family can stay without breaking the bank. The best hotel in Casper is the Come On In and Suites. Make your reservations today and come on in.
Great signage is an important component to any successful business. It lets your customers know they have arrived at your doors, and it's a constant advertisement of who you are. When you install LED signage, you're taking it one step further. The ability to create color messages that move is an attention grabber. Plus, you can change the message whenever you would like. Make your business stand out with an LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign, providing service, installation, and maintenance on all signage. Rocky Mountain Sign, licensed in Wyoming and Utah. Call today for a quote, 307-789-5202.
We are now ready to start the fourth quarter of action with the Rebels leading 46-27. Start of the fourth quarter. Looks like there's a bit of confusion on possession here. They're going to switch that around and give the ball to Wind River, as Murray is going to pass it into Walker. So Murray gets it into Spoon Hunter. Spoon Hunter did not foul the whole third quarter. She still got 4 fouls, so kudos to her that she is still in this game. Walker gets it to Spoon Hunter. Spoon Hunter feeds it to Arnich. Arnich dribbles it out, passes it over to Toyo. Walker to Shoyo again. Shoyo able to keep it in bounds, but Cass Argyle is there to get locked up with her and able to force the turnover with the jump ball. So Rebels will get the ball back as McKinnon inbounds to Weston. Weston takes it across the timeline. She's going to dribble to her right. She'll pass it to McKinnon. McKinnon looks for the backdoor cut from Argyle, gives to Weston. Weston tries to thread the needle, but it is not there as Arnich steals it and gets it up to Walker. Walker tries to oop it up to Murray, but Murray has to throw it back in and off the hands of Weston and out of bounds. So Wind River will keep possession here. Spoon Hunter, the inbounder. She passes it to Arnich, over to Walker. Weston tips it away. So Wind River will get the ball still from their sideline. Quick sub as McKinnon comes out, and I believe that was Pugmire comes back in. Passes into Arnich. Arnich looking for someone. She skip passes it over to Smith. Smith to Spoon Hunter. Spoon Hunter's 3 is up and off the mark and off the hands of Murray for the attempted rebounds. The Rebels will get the ball back. Go in the other direction. Pugmire inbounds it to Weston. Weston slowly bringing it across the timeline. She passes it to Argyle on the right wing. Argyle drives the baseline, tries for the reverse layup, but then kicks it out to Pugmire at the middle of the key. Pugmire gets it to Hatch and then to Smith. Great teamwork there to work it around, and finally gets to Smith, who finishes it at the rim. And they are now going to call Smith with the blocking foul, as she was right in Spoon Hunter's pocket, bringing it up the court. Spoon Hunter looking to inbound. She gets it to Arnich, but that is tipped away by Brinley Hatch. So Wind River will have to try the inbound once again. 6:31 to go here. Rebels up 48-27 in the fourth quarter. Ball is inbound to Walker, who is guarded closely by Weston. She gets to Arnich on the left wing. Arnich passes it over to Shoyo on the right wing. Shoyo back to Arnich. Back to Arnich at the top, and she rockets it over to Walker on the left wing. Great catch there by the coach. I think he played some receiver back in the day. He saved some lives because that ball was coming. Ball is back inbounded to Weston, who takes it across the timeline. She passes it to her right to Argyle on the right wing. Great pass there to Hatch, and Hatch dribbles it back as she was a little bit too far under the hoop, but that will be blocked by Spoon Hunter, and the Rebels will retain possession under their own basket. Smith, the inbounder. She will inbound it to an open Pugmire. Great pass there by Smith. A great drawn-up play there by Coach Lundgren as Pugmire was wide open on the left block. 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter as Arnich drives to the hole, and that is off the front of the rim. Shoyo with the rebound, and she's going to be fouled on the putback. So the Rebels out-rebounded there by Shoyo. There was 3 Rebels there, and Shoyo comes up with the rebound, fouled by Cass Argyle, so she will go to the line shooting 2. The first is up and off the mark. So Shoyo will get another try at it for her second shot. 5:56 to go in the fourth quarter. Shoyo's shot is up and off the back of the rim. Smith with the rebound. Is Smith, Weston, Hatch, Pugmire, and Argyle in the game as Smith passes it to Argyle on the left wing. Argyle then gets it to Weston on top. Weston pump fakes and drives. She brings it back up to the top. Weston tries to get to Pugmire as there was no backside help and is just off the fingertips of Pugmire. So Wind River will get the ball back as Walker gets it to Shoyo. Over to Smith. Smith to Walker. Walker passes it ahead to Spoon Hunter. Spoon Hunter gets it to Arnich on the other end, and they're going to call a foul on Hatch, so it's an and one for Arnich. Brings the score 50-29. Arnich looking to make it get into the 30 range. 5:25 to go in the fourth quarter. That's Brinley Hatch's second foul, third team foul for the Rebels. Arnich's shot is up and bounces in. 50-30 for the Rebels. 5:22 to go here as Weston passes up to Argyle. Argyle back to Weston. Rebels looking to set something up. Weston dribbles past Smith. She's going to take the jumper, and that is off the mark. Weston gets a long rebound, her own rebound. She dribbles to her right. Then to her left, she crosses over. Gets it to Smith on the back cut. Smith a little too far off, and Walker does knock it out of bounds. So Rebels will keep possession. That was a good back cut by Smith, but she was just in the wrong spot by the time she caught it. But the Rebels do keep the ball as Pugmire gets it into Brinley Hatch. Brinley has a spin move, and that is blocked by Arnich. Walker with the ball, but she is guarded closely by both Argyle and Smith, and they're going to get Argyle for a reach as she was attempting to get a jump ball there. So that's the Rebels' fourth foul, one away from putting Wind River into the bonus. Spoon Hunter with the ball at the left wing. She dribbles to her right, passes it to Walker on the left wing, who attempts a three, and that is an air ball and into the hands of Hatch, who passes it ahead to Argyle. Argyle, with the defense of Arnich, bounces it off her foot, so Wind River does get the ball back with 4:31 to go in the fourth quarter, 50-30 in favor of the Rebels, as Jolly comes in for Weston. Smith inbounds it to Walker. Walker gets it ahead to Arnich. Arnich tries to drive into her right. She puts it up and off the back of the iron as Smith rebounds it and gets it to Pugmire. Pugmire brings it up across the timeline. She picks it up and gives it to Smith. Smith dribbles to her left. She passes it to Pugmire at the top of the key. Pugmire drives to the hole, and there it was a made layup, but they're going to say, ooh, the foul was before she got to the hoop. So the Rebels will take it underneath. And that's going to be 5 on Spoon Hunter. So Spoon Hunter able to last until 4:05 left in the fourth quarter. But that is a big loss for Wind River. Spoon Hunter had a good game today. We're going to take a timeout here. We come back, 4:05 left in the fourth quarter with the Rebels up 50-30. Thanks for listening online at mylocalradio.com and listening in at 98.3 KDQ-FM.
We offer rebates on energy-saving products and equipment for our customers. For example, your home's heating and air conditioning system draws significant amount of electricity during certain times of the year. We offer cash back for heat pumps, which use energy-efficient technology to heat and cool your home. We also offer rebates on appliances and smart accessories like smart plugs and smart switches. Really, for anything that draws electricity in your home, we usually have some type of rebate to offer you. Visit wattsmarthomes.com today.
We are back here with 4:05 to go in the fourth quarter. Rebels with a commanding lead of 20, looking to close this one out to go 2-1 in the Bridger Valley tournament. They've had a good weekend. Jolly gets it inbounded to Argyle in the corner, who gets it to Pugmire. She tries to put it up, 2-footer, but she'll be fouled and go to the line shooting 2. So the first shot is up and no good. Pugmire will attempt the second free throw here as Hatch comes out and McKinnon comes in. Oh, Dottie Morse, excuse me. So Morse is in the ball game for Hatch. And Brooke Compton also is going to sub in for Pugmire after that made free throw. Rebels up 51-31 with 3:56 to go in the fourth quarter. Arneach gets it over to Walker. Walker tries to get it over to number 21, Aliana Murray, and that is just out of her hands there. Jay Lutz also subs in for the Rebels as Paige Smith comes out, and also Lacey McKinnon into the ballgame as well. So it's Argyle, McKinnon, Morse, Lutz, and Compton. Argyle dribbles to her left. She hands it off to Lutz. Lutz gives it to Compton. Compton with a skip pass over to McKinnon. McKinnon feeds Morse, and that is just off the mark, but she was fouled, so Morse able to have 2 foul shots coming up here. Morse with the first foul shot attempt, and that just off the front rim. 3:34 to go here, 51-30 for the Rebels. As Argyle does sub out and Lyda Taylor in for the Rebels. Morse's second free throw attempt is up and just rims out. They're going to call a line violation on Wind River. So Dottie will get one more shot at this. Dottie's shot is up and just off the mark here. So Wind River with the rebound. They get it across the timeline. It looks like both JV squads have filtered in here as Shoyo has it on the right wing. She's looking for help. She gets it in Murray. Murray dribbles to her left to Smith. Smith then dribbles. Defense there by McKinnon. They get to the top of the key. Shoyo dribbles to her right. And she gets the shot up, but she is fouled. So Shoyo will have 2 shot attempts from the free throw line. Shoyo to attempt the first free throw. That is just off the mark. 3:01 to go here in the fourth. Rebels up 51-30. Shoyo with her second foul shot attempt. It is up, and this time good. Rebels up 51-31 after that made free throw. McKinnon bringing up the ball. She passes it over to Compton. Compton had an open man in Dottie Morse. Unfortunately, that was off the face of a Wind River defender, so they're going to sub her out. Compton does have the ball and will inbound it from the sideline. Compton gets it in to Morse. That was a great entry pass by Compton into Morse, who finishes. Great finish as well. 53-31 for the Lady Rebels. 2:47 to go here in the game. Smith tries to drive past McKinnon. That will go. Was off her foot out of bounds, but they're going to call a foul on McKinnon on that drive. So Smith will go to the line shooting 2 as they are in the bonus. Smith's first shot is up and good. Smith's second foul shot attempt is up and good. 53-33 for the Rebels as McKinnon will bring the ball up. 2:35 to go in the fourth quarter. McKinnon picks up her dribble. She gets it to Taylor. Taylor turns to face her defender, looking for some help. She gets it from Compton. Compton gets it over to McKinnon. McKinnon, an entry pass to Compton. Compton goes to the basket. She is fouled on the attempt, so she'll go to the line shooting 2. 2:15 to go here in the fourth quarter. So we'll get a little bit ahead of ourselves and give an update for next week. Got some great games coming up for the Rebels on Thursday, and this is boys and girls. They go to Cokeville, and Cokeville has a great boys and girls team, so that will be a great matchup with the team down the road at Cokeville. And then Friday, boys and girls are at home against Grace, and then Saturday, a much awaited matchup for the boys against North Summit at home. And so the girls will not have a game next Saturday, but the boys will take on North Summit. Lutz passes it up to Taylor. Taylor kicks it out to McKinnon on the right wing. She gets it to Compton on the left wing, who passes to Lutz. Lutz looks to drive. She backs it back out and passes it to Compton underneath. Compton, a good finish there. Good finish at the basket. 55-33 with 1:44 to go here in this game. Smith gets it across. She does go down, but able to keep her dribble and gets it over to Murray. Murray drives to the hoop and is able to finish at the basket. 55-35, 1:25 to go here. McKinnon gets it across the half-court line. She gets a screen from Taylor. She tries to the basket, kicks it out to Lutz in the corner. Lutz, a great pass to Morse, and Morse is fouled. She'll attempt 2 foul shots with 1:12 to go here in the game. So a great outing by this younger squad as they have played the majority of this fourth quarter and kept the lead at where it has been. Morse's first foul shot is up and no good. I think Dottie thought that ball came from the ref. She was ready to shoot once again, but she gets it back to the ref, back to Morse. Dottie puts it up and just rims out. Rebound by Wind River. They get it across the timeline. Smith has it at the top of the key. She picks it up, gets it over to Murray to her right. Minute to go here in the game. Murray gets it to Shoyo. Shoyo passes it to her right. Murray with the shot attempt. That will be rebounded by Shoyo, and they're going to call a foul on Brooke Compton on that rebound. So Shoyo will go to the line shooting 2 with 48 seconds to go here in the game. Shoyo's shot is up and just off the mark. Shoyo has another shot attempt here, another free throw attempt. 48 seconds to go, 55-35 for the Rebels. Make that 55-36 after that made Shoyo free throw. We'll see if the Rebels run this thing out as there's just 40 seconds to go here in the game. Compton being guarded heavily, dribbles to her right. She gets to the right corner, backs it back out to Lutz, and sets a screen for Lutz. Lutz gets it over to McKinnon on the left wing. Lutz dribbles to the middle. She gets it to Compton. Compton trying not to go backcourt, and she does so. She gets it to McKinnon, who passes it up to Taylor. Taylor is then fouled on the 2-point attempt with 18 seconds to go here. Lyda Taylor will go to the line shooting 2. Lyda's first shot is up, and it is good. So Lyda able to get on the books here with her first foul shot attempt. It is good. She'll go for her second. That is off the front rim. Dottie Morse with the rebound and putback, and that is just off the mark. Rebounded by Murray. Murray gets it up to Smith, but that is just off her hands. 8.5 seconds to go here. 56-36. Rebels do not even need to get it across half court as there's just 8.5 seconds to go here. Lundgren telling the team just to hold the ball, and that will do it. Rebels able to go 2-1 at the Bridger Valley tournament after a strong win against Wind River. Final score 56-36. Thank you for listening today. We're going to go to a quick break, and then we'll start our Independent Software Solutions post-game show.
WattSmart is Rocky Mountain Power's energy efficiency program. WattSmart provides rebates to residential customers for energy efficiency upgrades made around the home. Devices and appliances that use electricity in your home can usually be made more efficient, and that can save you money and energy. When you decide to make upgrades, we have rebates available for you. Visit wattsmarthomes.com today.
Fast, fresh, delicious. 3 words that describe your experience every time you enjoy a delicious meal with Jimmy John's. Utilizing the freshest ingredients, home-baked bread, and professional sandwich building skills, the team at Jimmy John's always delivers a mouth-watering sandwich to satisfy any hunger. Jimmy John's. Freaky fast, freaky fresh. Visit any of our locations today in Evanston, Rock Springs, Sheridan, and Gillette.
Dealing with computer problems can be frustrating and make you wish for your own personal IT guy. Now, everyone can afford an IT guy. Independent Software Solutions has served customers in Wyoming and Utah for over 20 years. We develop software, handle system and network administration, repair personal and business computers, and sell accessories. Independent Software Solutions is your one-stop computer business solution. Call today, 307-789-1978. Let Independent Software Solutions be your IT guy.
Welcome back to our post-game show brought to you by Independent Software Solutions. Rebels able to get a 20-point win against the Wind River Cougars. Just a quick recap. Now, it was a 20-point win, but there were times where Wind River was able to give us some resistance. Rebels playing a third game in 2 days, obviously, with a very tough one last night against Mountain View. So they didn't quite have the legs that they usually do, but they were able to persevere through some of those runs that Wind River had, and able to stay strong throughout the game. We're going to jump forward to our player of the game, brought to you by the Crawford Trough. We're going to give that to Bray Pugmire, mostly because she was able to play so tough under there with a badly bloody nose, so she played through injury through most of that game, as that happened very early on, And so we're going to give the player of the game to Bray, and she had a great support from the rest of her teammates. Good showing for the Lady Rebels. That brings us to our calendar update. I talked about it earlier on, but next week a great schedule of games as the Rebels, boys and girls, go to Cokeville on Thursday. They'll be there Thursday night. And then just to give you an idea of Cokeville, they lost to Mountain View's girls in a similar way they did and beat Mountain View's boys in a similar way that we did. So it's going to be, if you're basing it off of, similar matchups, it's going to be a good matchup between the two of us. And so that's Thursday night. Friday night, Grace comes to Rich County, and we will have that game at Rich High School with the Grace Grizzlies, both boys and girls. Saturday we'll wrap up the schedule with the boys playing North Summit. That is the calendar update. Thank you for all of our listeners listening in all weekend long. We'll see you next Thursday online at mylocalradio.com and listening in at 98.3 KDQ FM.